What's up, you butternut babbling bastages? Terrence Pop here with another episode of Truly Live from the Lair. And unfortunately, tonight we do not have Blake with us. He is taking his wife out for a birthday dinner along with his son. I totally support that. It is what it is. But I've been saying for a long time I would like to start up a network show for men, but I can't call it the man show because I'll get sued. So if you guys can assist in the comments, leave some ideas for some show names. And another thing that's going to be different tonight is we're going to go through the subjects that we're going to talk about. We're going to go to alt tech. When we come back, I'm actually going to show you the latest pop culture that we filmed, except I'm going to perform it for you live. It's more like a comedy lecture without all the interjections, but it is what it is. And to assist us today, we have two individuals. Jimmy Bones, come on in.
Yep. There we go.
Red Pill Rhino.
What is going on, gentlemen?
Yeah.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah. How's everyone doing? This is the first time we've been monkeying around with this new format, and we'll see how it works out. All right. So you guys got anything to add before we get going?
Nope, I don't think so. I'd say
let's jump in.
Go ahead and jump right in it. Well,
yeah,
one thing that I did want to bring up was this.
All right. This is the U.S. debt countdown clock. What it's counting down to is complete collapse. Because when that debt gets big enough, we will no longer be able to service that debt. And we quite literally are going to have to wipe our asses with the greenback because that's all it'll be worth.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
And we've had, the $1.7 trillion budget pushed through before the big turnover, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm just sick and tired of these huge bills that get passed in the middle of the night. People have no time to read them. They are full of absolute horse crap and pork and they're giving pork away to their buddies that, we're talking about the Democrats, but at the end, they're actually porking us because we're the ones they got to pay for all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we've had the Twitter files dump. We're seeing how, the laws are being enforced for only one sector of the population and it totally ignored by another. I just can't believe the amount of individuals who get elected to the House or the Senate, and within a couple of years, they're multimillionaires.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. And we're going to go through their individual pay, and we'll figure out exactly what that is. But the only way I can possibly even justify that kind of turnaround is they have to be doing some type of insider trading. I mean, because they know what they're going to put up, what bills they're going to put up. They pretty much know what's going to pass and what's not going to pass. And
I mean, the Pelosi family seems to know everything ahead of time, don't they? So.
Yeah,
they sure do.
Yeah, I mean, we had Martha Stewart go to prison for that for 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
But I guess she didn't have the right letter next to her name, and there you go.
Yep. Martha Stewart convicted on all 4 counts.
Yeah. Why don't you read down some of that article? What were those counts?
Let's see. See if I can find them right away here. The convictions jeopardized the media empire that Stewart carefully built over the years in becoming the nation's premier homemaker, an image she put forth by way of magazines, TV programs, and everything from cookie cutters and garlic presses to bed sheets and pillows. Let's see. She was found guilty of conspiracy, making false statements, and obstruction of justice. The charges carry up to 20 years in prison at the sentencing June 17th, but she will most certainly get less than under federal gut sentencing guidelines. And this was back in 2015.
Yep. And I believe she got 2.5 years, 3 years or something like that.
Slap on the wrist.
And
Yeah,
she
it
did,
was just another slap on the wrist.
well, she did 15 months or some shit. I mean, I don't remember how long she was in there before they released her.
I can't remember off the top of my head either. I'd have to look into that one.
But the thing is, I mean, that's the big difference. I mean, she was wealthy, very popular, known by pretty much the entire country. They cut her no slack, and they slam fucked her. I mean, that's the only really thing I can say here. And we have people pulling strings now, doing virtually the same thing and getting away scot-free.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Like, what is all that crap?
There was supposed to be a certain thing to stop all of this, and it's called the Stock Act.
Oh, so we actually have a law on the books that's being ignored by part of our government?
Shocking.
So this is from wikipedia.com, so we can take that with a grain of salt. I just wanted to bring this up because Rhino wasn't too up to speed on it, but basically the law is yet another addition to the series of policy created to mandate and regulate the transactions of securities. The Securities and Exchange Act of 1933 was the first policy created to protect the sale and primary security transactions by companies, also known as the Truth in Securities Law. It paved its way to provide investors with more protection and fair opportunity for their liquid assets. Congress saw the lack of information provided to investors was large disadvantage to investors and derailed their interest, causing a lack of liquidity in the market during the recovery. It also laid out examples and identified situations of fraudulent activity that had been previously committed by companies. In addition, it provided guidelines for companies with registered publicly held securities to publicly disclose annual and quarterly results to properly educate their individual investors.
Hold it up right there. All right. So what I'm hearing is the government reacting to the big stock market crash. I believe that was in 1929. And we quite literally, as a country, got flambasted over that.
Yes, we did.
And when the economy started to turn around, everyone had lost faith in the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they passed this and came up with these additional criteria for companies is try to put that confidence back in the hands of the people so they would participate in the free and open market that it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Would you say that that's fairly accurate?
I would say you're 100% on that one.
Okay. And I mean, in today's world, we compare it back then to 1934 when they passed this act. We've already had a couple of recessions. We had, we came at least one nipple away from a depression in 2008. We were able to pull out of it. We funded that with debt, which we probably can't afford now. And in today's day and age, we've shut down our government for our economy for 2 years, and maybe 2 years and some change. And what are they going to do when we are actually in a depression once it finally catches up to us? Well, I mean, what laws are they going to pass then? Especially when we know individuals in the know, either in the big corps and in our government, don't follow these rules.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, it's rules for thee and none for me.
Yep. I was actually just about ready to point this out. This is the summary of it. So this basically breaks it down a little bit better. The Stock Act is an original bill to prohibit members of Congress and employees of Congress from using private information derived from their official positions for personal benefit and for other purposes.
Boom, shakalaka.
Yeah, it's not like they do that all the time, right?
Well, this is what we're doing here. We're not actually telling you that's what they're doing. We are talking around it, just wondering and asking questions how people get elected. They get paid $200,000 to $400,000 a year, and 3 years later, they're worth $5, 6, 7, $8 million.
Yep. Right here in section 6 actually breaks that down a little bit better. Amends the Ethics in Government Act of 1978 to require specified individuals to file report within 30 to 45 days after receiving notice of a purchase, sale, or exchange which exceeds $1,000 in stocks, bonds, commodities, futures, and other forms of securities, subject to waiver any exclusions. Now, if I'm not mistaken or anything, there were quite a few people that purchased a certain company's stock or invested in it. I would say roughly about 3-4 years ago. And somehow
before a certain virus spilled out into the wild
until that certain event, and now that certain company is recorded like $120 billion in profits or something like that.
Yep.
Just a little bit of money.
Yeah, well, they made a lot of money selling the juice that send you to the hereafter.
Yep. And again, this is just on the Wikipedia, so it's easy for everyone to go in and look at it. Just go in there and type in Stock Act. So if you want to learn a little bit more, there you go.
I'm at a loss here. It's supposed to be investigated. They're supposed to stop this from happening. Our alphabet agencies no longer work for the people. They don't honor their oaths, in my opinion. And they're ignoring a lot of this craziness that's going on at the highest levels in our government. Yeah. I mean, that is just my take on it. Strictly my opinion. Under the First Amendment, I could say shit like this. Not only did I earn this because I'm a citizen here, but I paid for it with blood, sweat, and tears through 3 wars.
Right.
So I can speak my mind. I fucking earned it. Wham. Is there anything else on the back end of that?
Let's see here. I got a lot of all the sections. I was trying to see here because I know that there's a fine. Let me see if I can find it here. Just glancing over this. Bear with me here. I know there's supposed to be a fine. Here we go. Is this what I'm looking for? Well, Section 18 amends the Federal Criminal Code to subject to a fine or imprisonment up to 15 years or both. It doesn't specify the fine, as well as possible disqualification from holding federal office, certain covered government persons, in addition to members of Congress and congressional employees who, with the intent to influence on the basis of partisan political affiliation, blah, 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 blah.
I would say Section 18 got completely ignored the last few decades.
Oh. Yeah.
Yes, it has. And it doesn't say what the fine was, but I know it's, again,
well, typically
just another slap on the wrist.
No. When you're dealing with the federal government, they usually hit you with both fine and time.
Unless you work for the federal government.
Unless you work for the federal government, and then you get a pass.
Yep.
But not everyone in the federal government gets a pass, because I know a couple guys who aren't involved in any high level crap at all who've got themselves in trouble by accident.
Yep.
I myself got caught up in it's basically the GRAP investigation, where I think I put like 6 people into the National Guard system, and for every soldier I put in, I was compensated $2,000. And back then, when I was paying child support, I needed that money for a good Christmas or what have you.
Right.
All right. Now, years later, which technically is beyond the statute of limitations, they come after me for fraud, wire fraud, and like one other charge. Then they were like teeing me up to hammer me.
Yeah.
Because I was on active duty at the time, I had to go turn myself into CID. And quite frankly, I just walked in there and I said, I ain't saying shit. And they're like, okay. Took some fingerprints, took my picture, out the door I was. It got forwarded to a prosecutor who said, "You're out of your goddamn mind. We can't prosecute this because it was investigated like crap." And I got a letter of reprimand anyway. So there was no due process at all. And I'd been in the military 28 years at that point. And that was pretty much one of the things that made up my mind that it's time to retire.
I don't blame you.
That would definitely do it.
Yeah. And they've screwed over probably 30,000 guys with that investigation. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean prison time, because some people did game the system, did commit fraud, and they paid the price. A lot of them went to jail for 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
But most of those guys, it was so obvious. I mean, there's really nothing they could do. Now, we have individuals in our government that were elected. They happen to have the right letter behind their name, and they're getting away with murder under our noses. They're flaunting it in our face, basically saying there ain't nothing we can do about it.
Yep.
And they are right now. They're correct. Our alphabet agencies are not enforcing the laws that we just read to you.
It feels like certain agencies, just to keep this YouTube friendly, are bought and paid for by certain political affiliations at this point, man.
Yeah, and what is one of my sayings? We have the best government money can buy. It's just us as citizens, we can't afford it.
Can't afford it. Nope.
But China can.
Yep.
Also, quickly, just while I see it before it disappears somewhere, did see a donation of $20 from Kenji 1090. He says an idea, show name idea is these guys. So there you go.
Hey, Jimmy Bones, write that down.
Right. Write it down.
I like that. I like that. Just type it. All right, write it down, and then we'll put it together in the notes, and we'll forward it to Blake, and we'll figure out what we could do.
Will do.
Perfect.
All right.
All right.
I think it's pretty funny. What do you got to do?
That's pretty good. Yeah.
I saw a $2 one in there. Can you find that one?
Trying to track it down.
$2 one from Smooth Criminal. Whatever happened to the Doomsday Clock?
We still have a Doomsday Clock.
We do.
I think we're 2 minutes away from midnight, which is Doomsday.
I think so.
Yikes.
And here's the funny part. When I was a kid, it was like 20 some odd minutes. We're running out of time fast.
No kidding.
Like I've said, we're going to see a nuclear warhead go off sometime in the next 20 years. Somewhere in the world.
Something in my gut's telling me it's going to be a lot sooner.
No, well, hopefully it's not in America.
That's what I'm hoping. Let's see. Look through here. I'll tell you what, everybody needs to go over to MGTOW.tv if you guys are gonna want the butts for tonight. So sorry, we got our hands full. So if you want to, literally, head on over to MGTOW.tv and join that one for the butts.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Blake is a genius at this stuff. He's a wizard. We started doing this a year and a half ago. Within 90 days, it was like he'd been doing it for a decade. I mean, the guy truly is gifted.
Oh, absolutely.
He is. I know it when I see it, and I'm honest enough to give credit where credit is due. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, what's the next source you got there, Jimmy?
But, well, I would say we can go back to, her name was mentioned. We can go back to Miss 90 Proof Nancy here.
Okay.
This is from knowledgeseeker.org from 2 years ago. So Nancy Pelosi has made millions of dollars in the stock market on companies that she regulates.
Shocking. Again.
Yeah.
Her wealth has increased to 115 million. It's actually 120 million now.
It's $120 million.
From 41 million over the last 17 years, with most of her and her husband Paul's additional riches due to extremely lucrative decisions about when to buy and sell tech stocks.
Oh, yeah. So there we go.
So there you go.
Oh my God, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the last 2 years, almost 75% of the trading done by the Pelosi's, more than 33 million, has been in big tech, major legislation concerning the industry during the same time frame has been pending before the House, controlled by the committees that Pelosi oversees.
All right, so hang on. So how much does Pelosi make a year? Let me look at let's do some calculating here.
You know what?
She makes about 400K.
Let me bring that up right here. Let's see. Sorry, I got a lot of tabs open here.
I know. Let's just be annoying here.
Okay, this will also be from Wikipedia. Where is it at? Where's that? Salaries and boom. There we go. So from 2009 to the present time, and these are just the numbers for the members of Congress, so House of Representatives and Senate.
All right. So she's in the House, right?
Yep.
What does she make?
She was making, let's see. Speaker of the House of Representatives was making $223,500 a year.
And how long has she been in office? 223,000. 37 years, like that.
Something like that.
We'll pick 37. It
sounds
good.
Like
a good number. All right. So in 37 years, she was paid a total of $8,251,000. That's before taxes. All right. Now that's a healthy amount of money, I would say, in the 37-year career.
Yeah.
But it doesn't add up to $120 million.
Nope. I wish I would have thought of this one, but Liz Cheney, she decided to she got herself a nice little paycheck before she was kicked out. I think her net worth went from like hundreds of thousands to almost eight figures.
Oh, really?
Something like that. I want to say, I could be wrong. It could just be like the low mid millions.
All right, do a quick search on her net worth and see what she's worth today. Can we do that? Just do a quick one.
See who's typing faster.
I know I'm gonna piss off so many people. I can't help it.
2018. I need to get 2022.
I can't help it. Such an evil genius. I can't help it. I can't.
Let's see which one.
Oh, that face.
Are you looking for?
Yeah. In 2018, an estimated net worth of 15 million, but that's not current. Unfortunately, I'm trying to find more current.
Let's see.
When was she actually elected in office?
Okay, she was elected in 2016.
All right, so she's been there 8 years.
Yep. Let's see. Trying to find a date on this just so that we know that it's somewhat up to date.
I got you.
But
August 16th, 2022.
Yep.
Now we got to have somebody in the manosphere put together a website that we can actually track our leaders' net worth when they come into office and then where they are at that particular.
I would agree with that, but Cheney earned the $174,000 as a member of Congress.
174,000 times 8. Okay, hang on.
Yep. And then per Open Secret, as of 2018, so 5 years ago, nearly 15 million.
All right, so she's been paid $1,392,000 since she got elected.
Yep.
And how much is she worth now?
Nearly 15 million as of 2018, but I do believe actually.
Now, did anyone in her family pick their air addiction, and she was willed any of this money? Probably not.
Probably.
No.
Well, unless she got something from her dad.
That's a reach around from all the other guys in politics.
Yeah, her dad passed away, right?
Dick Cheney did. I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay. He kicked his air addiction.
I could be wrong, but.
And let's hope he's smoking the nastiest turd in hell, because that guy was a dick.
Well,
in fact, I really can't say anything good about most of the people who run the shit show we call the United States now. Because I mean that's literally what we're seeing.
Yep.
Is we're seeing a shit show, everything falling apart around us. We all know what the problem is. The evidence is out there, but no one will do anything.
Nope.
Yeah.
People will keep voting for the same insanity just because they keep getting promises and handouts.
That's right. There's a couple more super
handies.
chats. You want to go through those real quick?
Yeah, I'm looking at this one. You've got Dung is Fun for $5. We can call off the search for Waldo. We found him, guys. We found him. He changes his shirt. That is all. Thank you,
I
Dung is
love
Fun.
these shirts, man. Come on. It's a good burn, though. I take a good burn. No problem.
And if I missed anybody, I'm still looking. Oh, there we go. We've got and Jimmy, if you see chats in the other ones, let me know. I'm covering the YouTube ones the best I can. We've got Tankers. How is that said? Tanker Boy's a bot? Is that what that is?
That's what it looks like.
He sends in a donation for $5. Can only be here for a short time today, but y'all keep on rocking while I keep on rolling on the rails tonight at work. Right on, man. Thank you so much.
Excellent. And today I am drinking bubbly water mixed with Ironfish whiskey. Was a gift from a fan, and one of my favorites, Sailor Jerry. Another gift from a fan. Thank you very much. Alcohol is always welcome.
Ain't that the truth?
Booze is always welcome in Pop's place.
Yeah. I've been
I've
I've been cutting back because we had that one guy on last week. He's having severe liver problems, and I'm like, I gotta quit hammering, and my liver is hard. I gotta make it last till I'm 65. After that, all bets are off.
After that, drink all you want.
That's right.
All right, we've got Pete here for $9.99.
Yeah. It's Pete.
Selling out the country seems to pay well. Yeah, absolutely, man.
That's it. That guy Pete is. He was in my LERS team and in my company. I went to Iraq. Great dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he had the most firefights of all the teams in Iraq in 2004.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think it was like 21 or 22, like pretty snarly engagements. I remember reading the reports going, nobody died? How many were there? And you didn't even run? You guys are lucky as shit. Because every time he went out, I'm like, oh, God, somebody's going to come back in a body bag. But it never happened. Thank God.
Yeah.
Never happened.
But one other thing I kind of want to teeter-totter back onto is while all these politicians and whatnot, people in the know get richer, we're the ones getting hammered the hardest. From 4 days ago, global food prices in 2022 hit record high amid drought and the bad thing going on in the eastern side.
Hang on. All right. So I worked in finance for a couple of years, and I've followed that world closely ever since. I'm fully up to speed on how commodities work. And a lot of the people that I knew back then trade commodities. And I received phone calls from some of these guys before the Ukraine thing even kicked off. All right. It doesn't take rocket science to go, hey, they are stocking an army right outside Ukraine. What does Ukraine do for the rest of the world? Well, they grow a hell of a lot of grain and other food supplies, and they produce a hell of a lot of fertilizer, and so does Russia.
Yeah.
Once that all kicked off, that went away. So quite literally, we've got almost 7 billion people on the planet, and we can only really feed 4 billion people with what we have now after all of the craziness that took place. Yep. And some of these guys made so a lot of hedge bets and they are made a killing in cash just buying commodities, shorting commodities, and just figuring, buying. I mean, it's insane what they've done. I think one of my buddies did in a 6-month period $1,210,000 in just gross profit, just trading commodities.
I've also got a
just like-
donation here really quick. Jeffrey Swaney for $5. Last article I read, Liz Cheney was worth $40 million. So, yeah, that's up from 15 in 2018, if that is correct.
Yeah. Where did all this money come from?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I mean, is she doing speaking engagements and they're paying her $2 million to show up? I mean, that is like, listen, if the mob can do that, right, they would be filthy rich now because that's how they would launder all of their ill-gotten gains.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not sure if you heard this, Pop, but your favorite person in the world just got a professorship at a major university.
And who would that
And
be again?
Why did we give him control of the buttons? That's all I want to know.
But
You got me that, bro. You got me good. You got me good.
Yeah, I can't remember what all she was hired to be a professor at this university. One university. I wasn't paying attention. It had her name in it, and I was like, oh, God, now what?
All right.
But yes, apparently, I want to say everything that she is allegedly has been involved with on the negative side, that's what she's supposed to be teaching.
Huh. I know 4 Secret Service guys, and I know them because they were in the special ops community, so I knew them. And they had nothing to say good about the Clintons at all, either the president or his cackling, witchy, bitchy wife. All right. Now, of these 4 guys, one of them literally walked out of the White House, went to his chain of command and said, I am not going back in there again. I am done. Find me something else. And he'd been around, in the Secret Service for 14, 15 years. He's got seniority. Yep. They're like, okay. And they actually build that into the system, personality conflicts. There's like a code they use to get transferred around. I thought it was ingenious. And literally one of the other guys was in the elevator because they have to walk. At least 1 or 2 guys walks with him everywhere he goes, even inside the White House. And they get into this elevator. The door's shut. He's standing there just going into the zone. And old Hillary just goes absolutely nuts on her husband. Just, and she smelled like death. Literally, some guy had to bring Vicks Vapor Rub, put his pinky in there, put it in his nose when he knew he's going to be around her because her breath smelled like rotten flesh. I mean, literally, she's got to be a lich, an undead being of some type. I don't know.
There are certain rumors going around out there that may reinforce the rotten flesh breath smell.
Yes.
Just saying.
And not to mention the Clinton death list, which statistically speaking, you have a better chance of life sparking from nothing than all of those people who are that close to that couple dying of suicide.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
I do want to go back to this article here real quick.
Right, that's fine. We're going off in the weeds. It happens.
But yep, just like what you said there, Pop, Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February exacerbated food crisis because of the 2 countries were leading global suppliers of wheat, barley, sunflower oil, and other products, especially to nations of parts of Africa, Middle East, and Asia that were already struggling with hunger. The war also jolted energy markets and fertilizer supplies. Mm-hmm. So you're hitting the food crisis on both ends there.
Yep. Yeah, they're not supplying it. And then even if this ends next week, it's going to be 2 years before we actually see a harvest from them, and probably the same amount of time before we see any kind of nitrate fertilizer from those countries.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're in this for a minimum of 2 years after the conflict ends. And from what I'm seeing, Russia is starting to do the ground and pound thing. Maybe they'll be able to pull it off if they can pull in 1.3 million people to assist. I don't know, but it is really suspicious that we have the Democrats have sent over 97 or 105 billion dollars in total in money, cash, equipment, whatever.
Yep.
And we can't even send 2 billion to our southern border to put up a goddamn wall.
Imagine all the walls we could build with all that money that should have stayed here.
Yes. Yeah. And one of the main reasons, and this is purely my speculation, I haven't seen any evidence on this, but don't you think it's weird how we have people in our government who have their children on boards in the Ukraine making an assload of money?
Yeah,
With
just
little to no
suspicious.
experience.
Yeah. Can anyone say kickback?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's all there. It is literally in front of us. We saw Biden bragging that he was going to hold back, $4 billion if they didn't stop an investigation in Ukraine. He's on camera laughing about it.
Yeah, he says you're not going to get the $1 billion unless you fire the prosecutor.
Yeah, there you go. I mean,
6 hours later, son of a bitch, he was fired.
Yeah.
Just keeping up really quick. We have actually a big one here. The Ginger Viking won for $50.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy. All right.
Needing some advice. Email sent. So there is an email for you there, Pop.
Okay. And Ginger Viking. I see it.
Viking won. Yep.
I'll answer your email when I get done with the show.
Okay. I was just about ready to say I have the email up too in case we have any stories
read
coming.
the email. Read the email.
Read the email. Okay, let's see here. Ginger Viking. Good evening, Blake and Pop. Need to give some quick backstory, so bear with me. I'm currently 30. I was a scout in the Army and on my second deployment. I had the misfortune of being the first through the door and took a rifle round to the hip. I ended up getting med-boarded out. While that was happening, my ex was running her way through 17 different Jodies while she left my daughter with my parents.
Okay.
Ouch. Before the med board and divorce, I was boxing at 6'3", 260 pounds. After that, I ended up getting depressed and made my way to 370 before I knew it.
Uh-huh.
I ran into your content last year and said, F it. Trying to be YouTube friendly here. Sorry.
It's all good. It's fine.
I now have custody of my daughter.
Yes.
Winning.
Badass.
And got a good paying trucking job that gives me the freedom.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
My last hurdle is the weight. I keep 50-pound kettlebells in the truck when I stop and have started to do intermittent fasting to help. I don't have full range of motion in my leg anymore, so running is out as an option.
Swim.
So I'm not sure what to do for heavy cardio. My goal at least for this year is to get back down under 300. Any advice you have would be appreciated. 431 out.
All right. First of all, you can't run because you got one of your wheels busted. At least you're not a circle walker. You're a zigzag walker now. Okay. I understand. I was a zigzag walker myself many times. It is what it is. One of the things I do when I need to get cardio and my joints are jacked is I swim. And you can really burn off a lot of calories just swimming laps. And the best part is this. Either at the beginning of your swim workout or at the end, work on doing some crossovers so you build your lung capacity. That actually assists in your cardiovascular system as a whole.
Nice.
Now, another thing that happens to individuals when you see a large gain of weight like that, I'm going to bet you probably have some insulin resistance, meaning your body is pumping out more insulin every time you eat sugar than it did when you were younger. That coupled with you're not doing PT on a regular basis does it too. There's berberine. It's a supplement that works pretty much as good as metformin, which is a prescription type 2 diabetic drug. But this doesn't have the side effects. Bitter melon. You take that once or twice a day along with the berberine, and that actually helps your body become more sensitive to the insulin that your body is making. Therefore, when it becomes more sensitive, your body doesn't have to make as much. Right? That, along with the swimming, intermittent fasting, is going to help you out loads, bro. Loads. And I am glad you got your kid, and I'm glad, you were able to let me know, and I gave you a number so you didn't let the sun shine into your brain in a not good way. But yeah, thanks for the donation, brother.
Oh yeah.
That's good stuff, man.
Let's see, what do we got?
And for the rest of you, keep in mind the alternative. Also a great way to get in cardio.
Yeah. But listen, most of those women, they can run maybe down the block, and that's it.
Yeah.
No running.
Yep. Looks like ES here with a $4.99 chat. Pop, you should know, usually after a few years, usually 5 years in office, the congressman makes that salary even if they leave office.
Yeah, I know.
Correct. That is correct.
Yeah, you show up and they get a pension after 5 years or 4 years. I don't remember which one it is for which house or the Senate.
Yep. And then plus you get all the health benefits, the health care.
Yeah, because they're too good to use Social Security. All right. They will not use Social Security, but they will rob Social Security for other programs that they're using to bribe people for the votes. And they've been doing that since roughly 1975, 78.
Yep. We got C here with $4.99. Says, I believe Phallus Cheney is still alive and he helped campaign for his daughter in the last election.
Okay, so he's not dead?
Okay, yeah, no, that is correct. That is correct.
He's not dead. Okay. Well, let's put in a request to Old Scratch, because I'm sure he's got a nice bowl full of crap for that guy to smoke when he goes down there.
Let's hope so. God. Bodhi Satava, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Number 411 checking in. Just an FYI, as per Newsmax just now, the Pentagon just dropped the poke mandates for all the troops.
Just now, huh?
Cine Perry Pop.
Yeah, and one of the reasons that happened is because they were losing in court. Now, here's the real bad part. There's like 8,000 servicemen who were actually put out of the service because of this. They need to actually, if they want to come back in, they should be allowed back with back pay. Period.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because, first of all, you can't treat a volunteer force like guinea pigs. Oh. Right? That was one of my pet peeves when I was in the military. And I refused to participate in some of the studies they tried to push upon me. I got yelled at pretty savagely a couple times too, once by a 1-star. And I literally said, I'm not doing it. If you want to serve me up for a courts-martial, that's fine. But I enlisted in the Army. I took an oath, and that nothing in that oath said guinea pig.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Pop, you have a big one here from what is it? Solon the Lick? I don't want to butcher that.
Solon the Lich.
Yeah, that is
Solon the Lich.
That is $225 tonight.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy. All right, hang on. Here's to you, bro. Those big ones. I'm gonna take a drink for Alabama.
Yep. Not sure what currency that is, but that is quite the donation. Thank you very much for that. He says, in the name of necromancy community, we declare no ties with that woman. That is a skinwalker or the giant cockroach from Men in Black.
Wow. Good stuff.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. I love that's good shit right there. Quality. Yeah.
Cliff 3188 with $4.99 here. Only upside of the food crisis, Western women's dress sizes will no longer be 18, and Stock Act doesn't specify family can't invest. Convenient, huh?
Convenient, yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one, and then we'll hit some more super chats.
All righty. Let me bring that up here.
Man. Unbelievable.
All right. So along with all the food and the all the BS else going on. How's our energy doing?
Probably not good.
Well,
Oh,
from February of last year, so this one might be a little bit dated. Propane is not doing too good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's doing all right. Has since declined to $1.30 a gallon as of January 31st, 2022. It dropped from $1.51 per gallon on October 21st or
What was?
October 5th, 2021.
Can you tell me how high it was during ever since Biden was elected or installed?
Let's see. I sure can. Let's see. 2022.
Well, go to 2020 first, and then just look there.
2020, still investors, pre-Thanksgiving. Oh, there's gasoline.
All right, hey, go back to that last graph. Let's take.
Where was that at? There we go.
There it is.
Well, yeah, this
Propane. 220 was what?
looks like it was. I would say about 22, 23 cents a gallon.
20 cents a gallon. What is it now?
Around there. A dollar. Just over $1.40.
Okay, so that is a
$1.20.
700% increase. 700% increase since the dictator in chief was installed. Yeah, that's working out for everyone.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Working
Okay,
really
now,
well.
when you said it was $1, whatever, $1.30, $1.40, I was like, that's not that bad. And then I'm like, because I do the numbers, I'm like, what was it in 2020 when he came in office?
Yep.
Anything that goes up 700% is a bad thing. That is a huge hit.
Yep.
Wow.
And because a lot of rural people use propane to heat their homes and keep the lights on, put food on the table. Heating oil is also another one that is on the rise. Let's see if I can find that one again. I know exactly where was it at.
Yeah, and a lot of people heat their homes with heating oil. And do you know what heating oil is?
Kerosene.
It's diesel minus the dye they put in there for use it for trucks.
Yep. Home heating oil costs in 2022. We're seeing astronomically high home heating oil prices in 2022. $4.96 per gallon on average. Oh, excuse me.
Wow.
By the end of March. That's up from around $2.60 and $2.87 in 2020 and 2021.
So it's a 100% increase because it's pretty much doubled?
Pretty close to doubled.
Yeah. Okay. So that's gone up 200%. That's not good.
And at most, your home can use up to 16 gallons a day. So a little bit of quick math, that's
16 gallons times 90 days for the winter.
Yep. And then you take that, times that by $5 per gallon to round up.
I'll do it right here. Hang on. What was it a gallon?
It was $4.96 a gallon on average.
$4.96.
$4.96.
All right, that's if you use 16 gallons a day to heat your house for the 3 months of winter, that's $7,142.
Wow. Yeah, that's a bit high.
So you can pretty much cut that bill in half from 2020 and 2021.
Yep. Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah. That's bad. That's bad.
This is bad, right? This is bad.
You know where that story comes from, right?
I know you said it before, but I can't remember it now.
When we were flying to Iraq in a C-5A in end of 2003, the bird I was in caught on fire, and the passenger crew filled up with smoke, the area where all the guys. And I remember the crew chief literally is looking at this wall of smoke coming at us, and he's just literally like, I mean, he can't believe it. He's like caught in that, like, is this really happening face?
Right.
And I'm like, hey, excuse me, get the pilot. Yeah, call him right now because he had the headphones on. So I guess he's like talking to the pilot. And then he's like, well, the pilot says he wants to go on for another 10 minutes and see if it continues. I'm like, no. You send the co-pilot here and he needs to see this. So literally like a minute later, co-pilot comes up the stairs, walks in, sees all the smoke, grabs the headphones off the crew chief, tells the pilot, no, F that. We need to be on the ground ASAP. And this C-5A dove for the deck. Like people were weightless. It was diving so hard. And I'm like sitting in the chair and I look over at the aisle and one of my soldiers is starting to float in the air and his feet are off the ground. And he looks at me and he's like, this is bad, right? This is bad. And all I could do was laugh, even though I thought we were going to die. I mean, I'll never forget that, man. That was hilarious. I'm sorry for going off topic, gentlemen.
Nope, you're all right. You're all right.
You're all good, man.
But so we have propane kind of, well, it's dipping, but it's still not good. We have heating oil completely going through the roof.
That's well, propane 700%, heating oil 200% increase.
Yep. And well, let's just say electricity isn't getting any better.
All right, what is that at?
Well, based upon the EIA, not to be confused with the EIU, they expect we expect U.S. sales of electricity to ultimate customers to raise by 2.7% in 2022, mostly because of more economic activity, but also because of slightly hotter summer weather than last year. Forecasts U.S. sales of electricity to fall by 0.9% in 2023.
Yep.
So we can look over here at, they got a little bit of a graph over here.
Here's another thing I just want to throw into the pot because I'm kind of a dickhead like that. All right, so everyone wants to go to electric cars. So not only do people want to have their lights, computers, and 3 or 4 screens on in front of their face 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
But now they want to take from the grid to put in their car. And that electricity comes from a coal-powered plant. Huh. So they're green by default, or are they not green by default? I'm just asking for a friend.
I would say probably not by default, because if you look up the what a lithium mine looks like, what a cobalt mine
I showed you guys
like.
that. Yep.
Yeah. Tell me you're green. Tell me you're green with your electric vehicles.
Just destroy a huge chunk of Earth. That's pretty green.
It reminds me of Dante's Inferno. Did you see the spiral thing that go down in the ground? I mean, holy crap. It's terrible.
Yep. Let's see. Increases in U.S. electricity generation in our forecast come almost entirely from solar and wind. Like those are reliable. We expect renewable sources will provide 22% of U.S. generation in 2022 and 24% in 2023, up from 20% in 2021. So they're slowly and gradually trying to implement green energy, but that's not good enough. That is not sustainable.
First of all, when you look at solar, there are only a few places in the United States where you can actually generate solar energy all year round. Like here in Michigan, where I'm at, maybe you can get enough solar to run your house 2 or 3 months out of the year. After that time frame is gone, you can still use it, but you're going to have to supplement with actual electricity from the grid. Unless you want to erect a windmill and go through all that craziness, which is possible. But yeah, I mean, this is now listen, I'm not one of those guys that buys into the climate change craziness. Okay.
Nope.
When you look at some of the tests they've done on ice cores, and they've proven that Antarctica at one time was actually a lush green continent. Well, if that's the case, at some point, all of the ice on the planet melted, and we're still here. All right.
Yep.
The climate changes, and it has changed since we started keeping track of it. Now, what I will agree with is we are some nasty, dirty, evil, hairless monkeys, and we make everything disposable. We throw it away without even a thought what's going to happen to it. And a lot of that plastic takes, 120 years to biodegrade? Are we out of our goddamn minds?
Well, just to bring this point
little
up,
bit.
all of those billions of cloth masks that were, supposed to save us and all that, they take around 450 years to degrade. And there's been
Wonderful.
like 2 billion of those
Billions.
introduced into the ocean on top of all the other crap that's floating around in there from us.
And they're still doing it. The hospitals, I don't know about all states, but most states are still requiring nursing homes and hospitals to go through those masks day after day after day after day.
Yeah. Oh my God. What a pain in the ass.
But let's just throw some more salt in this wound. They forecast U.S. residential price of electricity will average 14.9 cents per kilowatt hour in 2022, up 8% from 2021.
All right. Side note here. Does anyone know what the actual inflation rate is right now? Is it somewhere between 7 and 8%?
Somewhere in there. I've heard
what they say or what it is.
Well, I'm just going to say they're using this new way to calculate the inflation, and they're coming up with between 7 and 8%. But when you use the formulas from like the 1990s, we're flirting with 12%.
Yeah.
That's bad.
A little bit.
It's worse than you think.
Yeah. And listen, there's no such thing as free money. Money is not free. I mean, people work for that shit, and then it gets insulting when the amount of work you're doing is actually worth less than it was before. That's literally taking food and water out of the mouths of the lower class individuals who need that money to survive.
Yep.
See, according to tradingeconomics.com, as of a day ago, is what the thing says, it is 7.1%.
12.4.
I would say we are in double digits of inflation.
12.4.
Yeah. They're not improving.
No.
It's not improving at all. It's bad.
Circling the drain, man. Circling the drain.
Yeah, and I've been reading stories about there's basically people's car debts. I mean, people owe an actual amount of money on cars. There's going to be like a repo bubble is going to burst.
Yep. That's already starting. Actually, a lot of those repossessions are coming in now.
Yep.
It's actually a good thing you said that, Pop, because then we can take a look at the 2022 credit card debt statistics from lendingtree.com.
Wait, no, hang on. I got a story about credit cards. I hate credit cards. I hate them. And I'm going to tell you why. When I was in active duty, I lucked out and filled out an application, got a credit card. And you know what I did? I ran it up buying guns, food, and entertaining full German women. I get out of the army. Right. I owe $7,000. And it took me like 4 years to pay that off.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you left the full German women alone now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I paid off that student loan. I paid off my student loans from credit cards, with proceeds from professionally fighting.
Yep. But as of this one, Americans have an absolute mountain of credit card debt in 2022. Excuse me. $925 billion to be exact.
All right.
Billions and billions.
Let's say that's a jump That's a 38 billion jump from the 887 billion in the first quarter of 2022.
Wait. Wait, a $38 billion jump in just a quarter?
In 1 quarter.
You want to know why that
shit.
is? People are now buying food, gas,
Yep.
and heating and electricity with credit cards.
Yep. Trying to live off of credit because they don't have any money. Well,
Yeah.
you have to pay that credit. You have to pay that debt back somehow.
Yes, you
And
do.
sometimes you got to go to the blood bank. And if you're lucky and don't have a certain thing in your body, the sperm bank will take you.
I
Don't do that.
I don't recommend that.
Don't do that.
No, I've actually.
Now they can put you on the hook. Now they can put you on the hook for child support.
That's a
if you
different
end
show.
up- Yeah. Just don't do that.
So here we go with the roller coaster.
Here we go.
This is in billions, seasonally adjusted. I mean, there's one tiny little dip, another tiny little dip, and then it comes up, and then it dips again, but it just keeps going and going. Then there was a big old spike right there, and then
What year was that?
Wait,
let's see.
where is that? Where's the spike coming down?
This is from 1999 to present. So this
Okay.
would be 09 of quarter one.
Oh, 09.
Okay.
That's right after the crash the first time.
Right after the
Yep.
crash. So things were kind of doing good.
Yep.
Good.
Going to shit again.
I believe they changed the bankruptcy rules in between 08 and 10. So that could be
Yep.
a lot to do with it too.
Actually, yep, it just says right here, credit card debt, card debt showed hockey stick growth until the financial collapse of 2008, when balances fell from 866 billion in the fourth quarter of 2008 to 660 billion in the first quarter of 2013. But as you can see in the chart, the hockey stick has returned, and it's going right up your ass.
Yes. Now, back in the day, before they changed the laws for bankruptcy, I have an associate who literally paid for his college with credit cards. As soon as he graduated, he filed a Chapter 7 bankruptcy because he had no credit, really no job other than, bullcrap side work.
Right.
And he literally got it all dismissed. I mean, I'm like, what a scam. But
Yeah.
I was mad because I didn't think of it.
Yep.
Right.
Hey,
Mhm.
man, sometimes you get over, sometimes you don't. It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yep. Then they continue. Then when the pandemic took hold in 2020, credit card balances plunged again from 927 billion in the fourth quarter of 19 to 770 billion in the first quarter of 21. But again, the hockey stick returned.
Well, because we had the inflation start kicking in.
Yep.
Hey, I don't know what to tell you, man. That is messed up. Any more
And
super
we are-
chats you want to run through on YouTube?
Yep,
Yeah,
we
I've
can
got a
run through
couple
those
here.
real
I've got Devlin Alistair, $20 there. Thank you for everything you do, Pop.
All right. You're welcome.
And we got Ebrock with another $20. Pop, what was the horse supplement you were talking about a couple years ago?
Oh my God. You can get it on Amazon. You just look, it's finished. You just do a search on Amazon for Finish Line horse supplements. And there's one in there for joints. It's a liquid. It comes in a bottle. Looks like an additive you add to your gas to preserve your gas tank. And there's a picture of a horse on it. You have to get beyond the picture of the horse. Now, I started taking it roughly 2007-ish, 2008. Because between 2005 and 2008, I was doing acupuncture, living on Motrin, hydrocodone, and Percocet. I was just screwed. I started taking the horse, stuff, and it was 1 ounce a day for the first month, half an ounce a day for the second month, and then right around the second month, one day I just woke up in the morning and I felt 80% better. And then it slowly, and then a couple months later, it went down to virtually nothing. Now I still take it to this day, but I take a half an ounce every third day or so just to keep it in my system. And it has made all the difference. And in my last 12 years of my career, I had somewhere around 60 soldiers use the horse sauce, and it worked. This is that simple. It works for any cartilage in
There
your
you go.
body. It helps with your fingernails, your hair, everything. And you don't have to refrigerate it. It's not really a good thing, but it was good for me because I would put it in my rucksack, take it to the field, and I'd have it, when I was doing my stuff. But yeah, it works like a charm.
The guy's next to you. Hey, Pop, give me a shot.
You're right. This one I'm going to steal from you, Jimmy, before you say it. All right, we have Chris Lowe, USA for $20. Show name idea, Pringle Can of Destiny.
We need
That's good shit, man.
We need that to be a movie poster with Pop and Blake as Tenacious D with them reaching up for the Pringles can. We need that to happen.
Another drink here.
Brilliant. All right.
And I'm going to go to bed early tonight.
There we go. Post Nut Clarity with $2. Sorry I'm late. Is the guest TFM? No, we are assisting Pop here with the stream. Blake is out celebrating his wife's birthday tonight. So
yep. I'm sorry. And if you stick with us when we go to New Tech in a few minutes, when we come back, I'm going to do a live presentation of the value of the poon or the decreasing value of the poon. However you want to look at it, you can look at it. I don't care. It's a comedy lecture for men.
Yep. And you're not going to want to miss it.
No.
And guys, bear with me and Jimmy here. We are doing Blake's job. And as you can tell, it takes two knuckleheads to do his job. So he is the man. So we appreciate you guys for bearing with us here.
All right. Any more on YouTube?
No more super chats on YouTube.
Okay.
Anything?
I think we can go ahead and empty our squirrel bladders.
Well, okay, hang on. Let's just, do we have one more article or have we gone through all the sources?
Oh, let me take a look here.
I mean, it was really good that you added in the gas and the propane and electricity because people need to know that shit.
Well, this one we didn't cover.
What's that one?
That one would be so like how I was saying, they want to move everything over to electricity. Well, here's another way they're going to do it. The feds are considering a ban on gas-powered stoves to address pollution problem.
Right.
Sure. Natural gas stoves, which are used in about 40% of homes in the U.S., emit air pollutants such as nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, and fine particulate matter at levels the EPA and World Health Organization have said are unsafe. Wham!
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I am never going to not heat my house with something that burns.
Right?
That's simple. If I have to use wood or coal, I mean, I'll figure it out using the Greenberry Express. Yep. It is what it is. But, like literally we have governments overseas shutting down farms. They want to, ban certain cars and other vehicles in big cities. All right. Listen, that is not a good thing. We have progressed a certain way over the past 50, I'd say 70 years. And then we want to, on a dime, flip that around and go to something else. Not going to work out well. It's going to be a lot of pain.
No. That and I have a hypothesis of why they want to do this as well. Is because, I mean, you have a gas stove. You can still turn the thing on and cook your food with it.
Yep.
If need be, heat your home with it a little bit. You don't want to have a little bit of ventilation in there. You don't want to, completely gas yourself out.
It'll be fine.
But I mean, would it be too much to say that it's kind of another way to control people, how they may or may not survive the winter times?
Yeah, it's all about control, Jimmy. That's all it's ever about.
It is. And
sorry, I'm new to the party on that one, man.
All right, hey, we got a couple super chats. Let's roll through these.
There are a couple here.
Yep.
We've got Alan Flinchbaugh for $5.56. Pop could one up Amaranth by selling specialty Pringles cans to women. Oh man. Well, that's one way to make a few extra bucks.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I've put that one down.
Listen, I got better things to do than shit in cans all day.
God damn. All right. And of course, our very own Stumper, the sweaty fat guy, for $5. You can produce methane to run a NG stove, which is why they want to limit access to them. Keep us dependent on the system. Right. Rhino got Jared.
What's an NG stove?
Natural
that
gas.
I don't know.
Oh,
Natural
yeah,
gas.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And
you
actually, one kind of interesting thing that I saw, but I didn't bring up was I can't remember where it was at, but apparently someone has a tractor that runs off of cow crap.
All right.
So all the farting cows and all that AOC and old Miss Thunberg were complaining about, they're
How
helping
dare
us
you.
out.
Yep.
How dare you?
All right. That's
All righty.
that's the remaining super chats. We got everything on YouTube. We'll
Yep,
cover
that
the
looks
rest.
that
Oh,
will be
yeah.
the last one from YouTube. So I guess we can go refill our beers, empty our squirrel bladders, and we will see you on New Tech.
All right.
All right, guys. See you in 5.